Namaste. My name is Kimberly, registered reflexologist and Yin Yoga teacher. So this video today is all about my personal practice. I often get asked by my students, what is my favorite Yin Yoga sequence to practice? So today I'm going to share that with you. If you would like to practice along with me, please have a couple of blankets handy. So if you've got some blankets such as this, something thin or even thick. If you happen to have yoga blocks, you can have those handy too, although you can use the blankets instead. And with each one of the poses, I'm going to demonstrate how to get into the pose, provide some instructions and some guidelines, and then I'll be fairly silent during the actual time that I'm in the pose so that I can really be within my own experience and be present to my own practice. I encourage you to do this practice as often as you can, especially when you're feeling either depleted or fatigued or low on energy. I find when I've either burned myself at both ends of the candle, or I haven't slept well, or just energetically I'm finding that I'm feeling a little bit depleted, this is my go-to sequence. It's about 20-25 minutes, so if you've got the time today, please come ahead and practice with me. If not, hopefully you will practice some other time and enjoy if you are staying along for the ride. So our first pose we're going to start with is butterfly pose, and I always do this pose with every single one of my practices. And why? Because from a physical perspective, it stretches all of the connective tissue areas that I need to target. So my spine, my hips, my low back, my inner thighs, and my hamstrings. But more importantly, from an energetic perspective, because that's where my Yin teachings and practice resonates with, I'm working all of the meridian lines that stimulate all of the organs in my body. So we're looking at stimulating the kidneys and the adrenals, the bladder, the liver and the gallbladder, the stomach and the spleen, the heart, the small intestine, the large intestine, and the lungs. And so this pose effectively targets every single one of those meridian lines. So that's why I do this pose every single day. So let's get started here. I encourage you to sit up on something if you have something handy, such as either a blanket, or if you've got a small cushion or pillow, you can sit up on that. Bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees open up nice and wide. Pardon me, have a fairly wide distance between your feet and your pelvis so that you've got some room to fold forward. I encourage you to close your eyes, lengthen your spine. Relax your shoulders down away from your ears. Take a very deep breath in. And as you exhale, slowly fold forward. And allow yourself to stop at the first place where you feel some sensation in your body. And then I encourage you to rest there in that position and start to draw all of your awareness on towards your breath. Keeping the eyes closed helps you to stay present within your own experience. Keep your eyes closed and slowly start to bring yourself back up to a straight spine. Pause at the top and take an exhale breath there. And then take another deep breath in. And take a long breath out. With the help of your hands, draw your knees up and then extend your legs out for a moment. Take an opportunity here and just rest. Feel the flow of the blood and the energy moving back through the body. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Let your eyes open. Give your legs a little bit of a shake. Next pose we're coming into is supported fish. So this is a back bend, and this can be done a couple of different ways. If you have blocks, then you can use your blocks. I'll be using my blocks for this pose. If you don't have blocks, you can use blankets. So I would encourage you, if you've got thin blankets, to use 2. If you've got a thicker blanket, you could probably use just the 1. And you would fold them so that they're lengthwise. Okay. And you would stack them one on top of the other if you're using a couple of blankets. For those of you using blocks, this block is going to be in its highest or its middle position here, which is where your head is going to rest back on. The other block is going to sit right between the shoulder blades, right behind the heart center, and that's going to rest on its lowest position. Okay, so when you put this block into position here, you want to make sure that it's not resting on the back of your neck, and it's also not resting on your low back. It's literally right between the shoulder blades. For women, it would be around roughly where the bra line ends, but it's definitely right behind the heart center. If you can just think of that image when you come into this pose. And for most of us, if we're using blocks, we'll know if it's not in the right spot because it's not going to feel comfortable. And this pose should feel really, really supportive and comfortable. Okay. An essential pose for those who sit at a desk all day long. For myself, when I'm doing reflexology treatments, I sometimes tend to hunch forward. So this counteracts all the rounding forward that we do and actually helps to rebuild our spine. And from an energetic perspective, we're looking at opening up the meridian lines that stimulate through the heart, the lungs, the small and the large intestines. So come on down to your back. And get yourself into a comfortable position. If you need support for your back, you're going to keep your knees bent. If your low back is okay, extend your legs all the way out. And then close your eyes. Rest your arms like a letter T or slightly inwards towards your hips. Take a very deep breath in. Bring your arms down by your sides. Bring your feet on towards the floor. Using your right arm to support your head, you're going to roll very carefully off of your support into a fetal-like position. Keep your eyes closed. Take a couple of really deep breaths here. With the help of your left hand, slowly lift yourself back up. Open up your eyes. Again, give your legs a little bit of a shake. Take your props over to the side and come and lay back down on your back. We're going to head into a spinal twist. So I'll give you a couple of different options for spinal twist depending on how deep you'd like to go. You want to keep it pretty low key. Keep your knees side by side. Shift your hips to the left. Let your knees fall down to the right. Okay, you can tuck something underneath the bottom knee or between the knees if you need a little support. Arms come out like a letter T. You want a little deeper twist like I'm doing, and this is comfortable on your low back and hips. Left leg crosses over the right, and then the knees fall to the right side. You can keep your head centered or let your chin roll to your left side. Close the eyes. Find your breath here. On an inhale, bring your head back to center if it was tilted. Knees come back up. Uncross the legs if they're crossed. Pause here. Take a breath in and out through the nose. Make your way over to the other side, either knees side by side or crossing right leg over left. Both knees fall to your left side. As you inhale, slowly start to make your way back to center. Pause at the top and exhale. And then draw your arms down by your sides, palms facing up. Make your way into final Shavasana, corpse pose. Either knees bent or legs extended out. I invite you to stay and linger in Shavasana as long as you feel you need. Allow yourself a few minutes here to completely let go. I hope you've enjoyed this short little sequence in practice to revitalize your organs, to boost your energy, and to relax and calm the mind. Namaste.